Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's June 30th, 2023. I'm over here on base camp. So base camp is the area that I first established right here, all around in here. And this is the area where I put in a lot of hugelkultur pits. So what are hugelkultur pits? Well, a lot of the tree and bushes and weeds and grapevines. I dig great big holes with Elon, the excavator, and then I put all of that woody material and weedy material down into the pits, dig it down, oh, good 8, 10, 12, sometimes even deeper than that. And then I cover them back up with the soil, and then I use the soil that came out of the holes to finish up roadways and all. So there's the large beaver pond off in the distance, you could see, and we're uphill from the level of that water, and that's the highest pond level. Then it drops 6 feet to the lower pond. But over the last couple of years, I put in the roadways, and there's the very end of the last roadway I put in about a year ago. Here's some of the wood that I've got stacked up from clearing this little spot here. I have been working, I did last year establish a tree line over in that direction, and and I was able to access. So we're on a piece of property that we purchased 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago now, and there's a stone wall. Sorry about all the vibrations there. There's a stone wall. There's actually 2 stone walls that go right up along where this thickness of the trees are. So since I could make it through on our property, make the roadway here, and then clear an area where I could do wood processing, do the big hugelkultur pit, and then work my way up. I'll find the property line, which I did last year, and I cleared that out. I did more work with it this year. But this year, one of the things I did do, I came up here with the Hulk. The Hulk is the Takushi TL12 V2 track loader, and I did a video talking about the great prime attachment direct drive brush mower. And so that mounts on the front of it, and I've been up here working, cutting off lots and lots of these noxious grapevines. So all of these trees are connected to one another up here with all of these grapevines. And that's what you see there, lots and lots of grapevines. There are some trees that are mulched up here as well. But we're able to cut off and kill the root systems of these grapevines, which is really, really important. Now, they aren't dead. They'll keep coming back. But that brush mower cuts through everything so well. You can see good sized material that we cut through. And these vines connect to one another, and they're just every place. This is maybe 3 inches in diameter, but we have some that are a good 12 inches in diameter, and they really are something. So the brush mower has really done a great job. We'll walk up here because I'm going uphill right now, along close to the side of the first piece of property. You can see all in here, I've been working in here with the brush mower. I did a lot of work back on our original property in the forest, and that looks much nicer. So it takes time to make the transition, but what we're trying to do is, opposed to when people are clearing land, they make big piles and burn them. It puts carcinogens in the air, contributes to global warming, and our solution is, let's take all those nutrients that are in those plants, especially the carbon, and get that back into the ground. And if we can mulch it up, be it on the surface, that will feed the surface of the ground and make the trees healthier. Now, most of these trees in here are ash trees, which aren't going to survive very long, but I don't want to take them down because they got way more wood than we can actually burn right now. So my goal today, it's afternoon now, I've been working in the gardens this morning. So here are a couple of the rocks from the stone wall. So the bigger rocks like this that can be sitting rocks, I'll take and put aside, and there's thousands of them around here. I broke through both stone walls last year, I think it was last year, But there's so much stony material, and it's so thick in the forest up there. I don't want to try and make a roadway in there because there's a lot of good trees that I want to save. So I was trying to work my way up along in here. Now, last year I did take down some trees, but this year I haven't taken down any trees yet. Today I'll end up taking down a couple. But this is what the brush mower is able to do. Now the brush mower needs to go in here a few more times and really chop things up. It'd be ideal if I had the time to bring our wood chipper over here and take all these smaller, all of these limbs and small trunks and run them through the wood chipper and let that be part of the mulch. Now yesterday, over the last 24 hours, we got 6/10 of an inch of rain. So it's really muddy here. There are mosquitoes in this part of the property because there's all these little spots that are undulations in the surface of the soil. So I guess I piled up some soil here last year, root balls and soil. But what I had to do was figure out, here's another area I've been going through with the brush mower. Really does a fantastic job. These old dead limbs like this, it just chops them right up into mulch. You can see there's standing water here in these various areas. Now eventually, since I'm going to make this a roadway, making my way all the way up through here, and the goal, I guess one of the most important things when you're thinking about developing some land is determining where your access roads are going to be. Really super important. So I decided that this was the area, the path of least resistance here, to take out just a few trees, and you'll see a few over here on the sides. I have still got to get up here, cut off the root balls, put them in hugelkultur pits, and drag the logs down below. But there's 3 ash trees here that are going to have to come out. I won't take those out today. That's if I do get over here. But not having lots of turns is really important, if at all possible. We already have lots of turns going around the beaver ponds for the roadways, going way back there. But you may be able to see over on that side, there's a little bit of old pasture, and there's 2 stone walls here with the layers here, and I've been able to make my way up along in here, along this stone wall, and I just put some marking tape right here to tell me where to go to. So, and you see here's more of the big thick grapevine right there connecting, but there's a really nice maple here, a decent maple over there, and a cherry. So I think I can go right through these 2 stone walls right in here and just take out a few of these small trees to make it over into that area. And that way I've got my main roads. But you can see, here's, I don't know if these show up at all well, but these are just lots of stones in the stone wall. Beautiful stones, but there's debris and material that's been put on the stone walls for people who have lived here for many, many years. Old farm junk piles and all. There are some pig nut trees in here. Here's a pig nut a pig nut right there, related to it's a hickory type tree. And you can see this is where I came up through the brush mower, and you can see lots of this stuff, and it just eats this material up. I don't know how well any of this is showing up. But that brush mower takes down stuff that's 8 inches. And I really don't want to be taking down too many like that, although I have had to take a few down. But my goal is I'll come up here today and go around those 3 trees there most likely. I may end up taking them down, those 3 that are in the way of this roadway that I want to put in. But my goal today is to get up here and see if I can remove some of this stone wall and open up this area so that I can get back and forth with the brush mower and get up in here and work and get the the pasture land somewhat mowed down, and then over the next couple of years get things reforested around here. So more food forest to be put in, more native forest. And you can see there's little trenches somebody put in many years ago. And of course where trees had blown over, there's the pockets where it's like a small pool and a mound next to it from where the tree root ball laid over. And those are all little spots where the water pools. It's not really a vernal pool, but the water pools and creates habitats for the mosquitoes and all. So it's trying to eliminate as much of the mosquitoes, give a good drainage system down along this access road, and get some of these areas picked up and cleaned up. So one of the projects I'm working on, just wanted to share that with you. Access roads are really important when you're developing a piece of property. You really want to plan that out very, very well. Not just where the buildings are going to be, but the access roads, where your power, where your water, any lines that you're going to bury along the way, so that you don't have to be digging up an access road after you go and put that in. And those are the places, if you got a good access road, often you'll put your water lines or power lines alongside of those access roads. And always having two different ways of getting in and getting out of any location, I think, is really important, especially up here where we have these big storms, trees blow down, and if you've got a full load carrying it and you can't see very well behind you, it's really good to be able to have another avenue to be able to get out of your new property if you do. So I think that's about it for this video. Just wanted to share. Here I am siting out the area. And the brush mower works fantastic. I love it. It's Prime Attachments brush mower. Really built very, very well. Works great on the Takushi TL12 V2 track loader. Powerful unit. Cuts through this stuff just beautifully. So I'm going to get to work now. I hope you folks stay safe and take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye now.